All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to some Yomi action here. I'm playing F Stake. No, I'm playing Migo Hunter in 19XX format. This is, I believe, this was the first or second round of the tournament that I played in, anyway. And we're getting some Midori versus Quince. So I know that Migo Hunter likes both Quince and Manelker. Midori felt like a pretty good. I feel pretty comfortable playing Midori versus Manelker, and I feel reasonably okay about playing grapplers versus Quince. So that was basically the decision making that went into this particular pick. Okay, Migo opening with King Spin into Flagstone tax on throws. So I am playing a 4 attack because it hedges very, very nicely against both sides of this mix-up. If he goes ahead and plays the King Honest style, he risks getting thrown. And he does get some cards if that does happen. But if he plays it honest, he gets to spin it around and beat the 4 attack, but that does put him lower on cards. He doesn't get to draw off of the Flagstone tax, and I'm very, very satisfied to let that happen. So we're back in neutral. See if we can make some stuff happen here. Open up Quince with some throws, oppress that 5-card hand. See if we can make some stuff happen. Okay, draw into second hidden ace. That is quite nice. 6 attack cross up seems very good here. He can wake up with any normal basically except his own 6 or 7. Midori does not have, like the other grapplers, Trock and Rook, he does not have an SPD or an armored move that will beat fast normals. So there's really no incentive for players playing against him not to play fast normals. Their 2s and 3s are very active and good buttons against Midori in neutral, in non-dragon form, and on low hand. So 6 attack was low likelihood to work, but hey, if it works, I get to combo into 26 damage. That is pretty good. Puts me on a pretty good track to take the game. Quince has a couple of different ways he can hedge and play around either dodge into Final Dragon Buster or raw Final Dragon Buster. So it's lower likelihood that that's going to end up winning me the game. So I'm playing towards it less than I would ordinarily. We do pick up a 5, 6, 7 here. We're on an 11 card hand though. We do have to start thinking about whether he will start respecting queens in neutral. Queens with potential Glimpse of the Dragon backing them up. I think holding on to the Jack and just playing a 5 is quite good, to be honest. Although I'm playing the Jack because I am considering him playing an Ace in neutral. Ace in neutral is quite reasonable, I think. If he thinks that I'm either going to block or go for something potentially more aggressive. Okay, face down this early is probably real, so I'll just go ahead and allow that to pass. Essentially, it's him trading 2 cards for my 2 cards. I'm already on a large hand size, so I don't mind taking that particular exchange of resources. My 5 is my only throw right now that I really want to be playing as a throw. So I do want to consider before playing it as an attack that might get blocked, especially since Quince does want to block in this position. He wants to block or normal me. So 5 attack is actually pretty good. Yeah, so the 5 attack would have won, which is very unfortunate there. But to be quite honest, there's no real reason for Quince to play the 5 over something like a 3, unless he just does not have a 3. So that's definitely some information. At least we hang on to the 5. He shows us the king again. He's again going to flagstone tax and again tax on throws. So again, I have the opportunity here to just play a 5 attack. 5 attack is fairly low risk. I can also, yeah, blocking is also not a bad move. It hedges nicely against the 2 honest sides of this mix-up, or the honest side of the mix-up, which is just the king, in case he wants to spin that around. So he doesn't get to draw a card here because he played it facing the wrong side. With a large hand size like this, it's not unlikely that I would play a dragon move with glimpse backed up. So he does cash in some damage. He takes the life lead, but he is on a fairly low hand size. Okay, never mind. He's got 2 truths. He's going to go ahead and cheat his way back into a hand. Yeah, the 10 is a very valuable card here because it allows him to set up a situation where he can potentially continue his spins. So I do have to consider giving him the king and the jack, but that sets up a whole can of worms that I also don't want to deal with. Just going to go ahead and reveal king, tax throws again. I have not yet played this honestly. And with the Joker as backup, I'm tempted not to play it honestly again. So instead, he lights me up with a king. But again, does not get to draw off of the flagstone tax, does not get to draw off of spinning the king. So I am reasonably satisfied with that outcome. Okay, shows queen. So it's either honest queen or either dodge or block. Quince can choose to reveal just the dodge side of a special, either a jack or a king in this mix-up to maintain the realness of the mix-up. Because if he's just playing either a dodge or honest queen, I just play queen with glimpse backup and he dies, right? There's no way to win that mix-up. But in this case, it has to be a special dodge in order to beat dragon moves. So I'm going to go ahead and conserve my 2s a little bit further and just play into this potentially honest queen. Okay, gets the block off instead and gets himself a bit of a hand size. I cannot yet go into dragon form. I need to have kings in hand or more aces before I can threaten that. Why would I whirlwind here instead of dragon mountain? I still want to keep a handle, like essentially the thing I'm most worried about is like single ace rather than consent to the governed, which whirlwind plays around just fine. Ooh, there we go. That's that nasty combo. Duff a big greedy throw. Choose not to follow that up. Probably should have. We've already taken 1 joker out of his deck. So I would have preferred to be able to go in here. Again, don't really think that I can afford to use dragon form yet. I could potentially power up 2 of the 2s and 2 8s to get 4 aces in hand to be able to final dragon buster. But he's not yet at 52 hit points, so it's not yet lethal. Okay, raw king. Again, using that as just special dodge. Okay, he is not deterred. Bluff with the jack so that I can serve the joker so that I can play queen here very safely. Okay, high chance of honest jack spin, I think, here. Although it is very scary to potentially allow myself to be comboed. Block is very safe, though. Even if he throws or gets a cross up normal, I do have the joker still. Okay, he plays the honest jack. We can get out of this for free. I don't have to spend the 10. In fact, spending the 10 would do absolutely nothing. We're going to go ahead and joker. We are still knocked down, but we get some additional cards in hand. Getting the jack is quite nice. He's played no aces. Draw another silent ace. So it is almost time for us to power up those 8s. So definitely not going to play the 8s. The aim of the game is not to die this turn. Okay, that is very good for us to see. Combo this into a 6. Or just cash out aces. Yeah, nice nice joker play on his part. It might have been smarter for me just to hold on to the aces, not combo there at all, and instead go for power-up plays. Yeah, absolutely debated. I am sub 30, so raw consent is a risk. Luckily, we do some nice little foozies here. We hit him with the hidden tech. Okay, single ace. We do have a potentially lethal final Dragon Buster here. Yeah, activate. So we need one successful throw. Or Rising Mountain into some shenanigans. Just gonna go ahead and do it raw, huh? Okay, sure. I mean, dodge is pretty good here from the Dory side. I've only played 2 of them, so it's kind of likely that I've got it. And he hits me with that 7. So unfortunate for me, this is potentially lethal here. Yeah, there we go. Oh no, sorry, that's 24. Okay, so we're not quite dead. We do get thrown out of dragon form though, which is unfortunate for us. He's on 4 cards. That's good for us. Goes with the spin. Okay, so the only thing that beats Honest Queen is actually Queen right now. Question is he a crazy enough person to just play the Queen? I think in this position, it's not a terrible idea to do so. It's fairly low likelihood that I have enough gas in the tank to actually kill from this position. He may consider that I have ace-ace in hand, that I might be tempted to use that. Goes for the king, so so he was expecting some dragon attacks there, hedging against dragon attack. I don't have lethal off of any attack or throw. So I need to be correct 2 more times. Okay, dodge, dodge. It's not bad. We remain alive. Draw a throw, at least. Also draw a nice attack. 5 is a pretty good attack. We've seen 2 5s, 2 6s, 3 7s. So he's kind of running out of those. No aces at all yet. So I'm playing around aces. That's my game plan. Don't want to die to aces. Don't want to die to 3, that's for sure. Take him down to 10. He knows we do not have a 10 in hand now. Draw a dodge. That's very good. That's very good. We don't have lethal off the dodge, though. Okay, do not throw. Don't really feel like throwing anyway, so definitely the scarier thing would have been do not attack. Okay, dodge again. Still no lethal in hand, except 5 into 6. Okay, we've got another dodge. Yeah, we have lethal off of either 5 attack or 5 throw, and that's it. He has been dodging pretty consistently. He should know we don't have a 10, so the 10 is very high likelihood to succeed. Oh, thank God. So luckily his nerves crack before mine do. Or he has a very hard read on the fact that I would have another dodge or a block. Wow, no aces. Yeah, that's brutal. No aces in 37 cards. That's insane. That's really, really rough. That's a tilt and a half for sure. So luckily we take game 1. Very, very close game 1. Okay, and he goes to Jaina. So this, I think, can be a pretty challenging matchup for Midori. In the early game, he's got fairly limited tools to deal with Jaina's attacks, specifically kings and... yeah, kings. I mean, or any normals, to be quite honest. But kings particularly, 2.4 speed. Midori has limited opportunities to be able to contest that. Basically just his queens, his jacks, which will trade, which are not ideal, although the trade will be in his favor, especially if Jaina buys the jacks back, or her kings back, I should say. The other option is just raw ace-ace. It's not a bad move. It is 1.2 speed. It is going to contest Jaina's speeds quite nicely. Migo opening with the slow side of Jack, trying to set up a counter hit for the king, looking to beat out a 4. So far, we are basically tied up in life. We have drawn them queens. We've got 10s to activate them, and 7 to combo into. So that's all well and good. Question is, does Migo continue with queen here? No, he does not. Okay. And the question is, do I want to actually spend the 10 to spin it? It's very important to have dodges in the late game versus Jaina, because her ace-ace move will contest everything, or will beat everything you have. That is 0.2 speed, deals 18 damage, and can just burn you out. So you can get into a situation where you don't have dodge, you don't have either human ace-ace or your quad ace super to dodge into for lethal, and she can just continuously power up. Her 10s can keep you from dodging in case you're very, very low on health, And she's got those checkmates that she can set up that way. So I'm essentially holding on to the 5s and the kings just so I can power those up into aces. I'm hoping that I can draw into another 5 or another king so that I don't have to power up 4 cards for 2. So I do want to hang on to as many cards in my hand as possible so that I can continue to power up. I like the queen there from Migo Hunter. It made a lot of sense. I just indicated that I'm happy to play queens. I might have another one, in which case if it comes out the next turn, that's another potentially 21 damage. Although he did joker the the 7 follow-up. Going into dragon form here has some merit. I can potentially block my way back into another queen if I successfully do that. And I don't really risk anything. On the other hand, I've just powered up 2 kings. It could put him in a position where he blocks more often. I don't have any way to punish that, so then we're just going draw, draw. I would much rather him be attacking into my blocks rather than going block, block against them. Okay, yeah, just blocks the potential ace-ace. It's unfortunate for me. Midori Queen, no chip damage. Okay, still have the threat of ace-ace here, so I could potentially get a throw-off. Other option is just to go for dodges. Other option is just to block. Blocking here seems very good. If I spend ace-ace, I'm basically out of options. I've got to start potentially defending myself with throws against throw attempts. I don't really want to do that. Okay, we get lucky with a king throw. Not going to glimpse that because, again, it's just 5 more damage. That's much more important to hold on to that as a dodge, because as a dodge, it's at least worth 8 if I dodge into a normal throw. And every bit of damage we can deal to Jaina is pretty important. So now I can consider throwing ace-ace. Because I do have 3 threes in hand, so I can immediately power up for another ace-ace. I know he has single ace in hand, so I've got to consider whether he's going to go for throws or single aces here. Okay, we get another successful block off. We get a dedicated 6 for blocking. And we can actually set up, yeah, we can set up potential final Dragon Buster here. Okay, Migo Hunter immediately gets 2 aces in hand. We've got everything we need. We can try to take the game right here. So again, safest thing we can do is just dodge here. If he's got a joker, safest thing he can do is just attack spam and hope that I take the wrong side of the 50-50. Instead, we catch that 8 throw. And yeah, we're just going to try to kill him. And luckily we do. So go up 2-0. And that worked out quite nicely for us. Yeah. I died. Yeah. So first game, I went for the raw final Dragon Buster and he poked it out. So I was hoping that he would think that I would go for the dodge now because I'm expecting him to play safe and just go for attack spam with Joker backup. So luckily it worked out. He stays in Jaina. So we're back to the neutral. We've got fairly good tools. We've got 2 blocks. We've got a queen and a jack in hand. If we can pull another jack, we have a potentially massive damage off of queen, glimpsed queen into jack. Okay. I was looking for a slow jack there. Okay, there we go. We've got it. We've got the dream. The only thing now is that we need a hand that we can actually recover from playing that combo. That's going to take 4 cards out of our hand. So we actually just have 4 cards in hand right now. So we need to block up. That's the difficulty with Midori. At all times, he always has explosive damage in his hand. Almost always. As soon as he's got 2 jacks in hand, that's 16 off of anything, right? Throw into 16 damage. Or 16 additional damage, right? Throw into 24. That's massive grappler damage. Queen into jack is 30 off of 0.6 speed. Massive damage. Problem is, if you ever do that, especially off of glimpse, you are spending so many resources. You've got to have something to fall back on. So even with max damage combos in hand, you have to block as Midori. Which means that he is one of the grapplers that most needs to throw defensively. And because he just does not have realistic ways to poke out, especially not having an SPD. He does not have the ordinary grappler tools to discourage a low normal spam. So people are much more likely to play low normals against you because, hey, why not? What are you really risking? You're risking hitting a block. That's the realistic thing that you are afraid of in the early game against Midori. His only early game threat is I'm going to either throw you to death or I'm going to block up into a late game hand. Those are his only ways of winning. Okay, we dodge the queen, so he's going to take 7 damage here. I take this opportunity to just throw into 15 damage, basically. So we get the knockdown, deal 8, he takes 7. He does not get aces. We draw some more 2s. So we're looking pretty good here. We've got the Joker as well. Just blocking here seems reasonable. Queen is okay, so long as we don't follow it up. Yeah, unfortunately, we did not have the courage to normal throw there. And he does block correctly. The jerk. How dare he win combat? Okay, again, we've got our late game tools, we've got our dodges. We've got potential damage in our hand, but not enough to really do anything with. So we're still playing block throw. Yeah, so the 5 attack probably tells him we don't have much of anything. And he goes for the king to try to punish us being aggressive. Luckily, we do not get killed. Still fairly even on health. We don't have any cards in the discard with which we could really profitably play dragon form and then go block. So we're going to just stay in human form, try to conserve and gather more resources. Luckily poke out a big 6. So probably tells me he does not have slow jack. And so wanted to try to get the 5 chip off of a block. Try to open me up with big normals. Also, if it runs into a throw, it does get him an additional card. So that's all good stuff as well. So we've got some pretty explosive damage, but again, can't really go into dragon form because we don't have any throws. So even if we really wanted to chase, like eventually we will have enough cards in hand and have conserved enough queens that we can go into dragon form and actually pressure him. He will have to get aces to be able to contend in the neutral against our queens, and then we can try to get some blocks going to try to set some stuff up there. But without the kings in hand, we just don't have any way to punish him just blocking against us. So really can't go into dragon form here. And this is kind of the issue with Midori. Out of all of the grapplers, he has the most variance in terms of his hand quality. He can run into situations where he just doesn't have anything good, or where he has tons of goods. Like again, I've got a 30 damage combo ready to go at any moment. But as soon as I play it, I'm going to be down to really kind of dregs in my hand. So I have to close things out pretty rapidly if I hit this. So the question is, do I combo into the 7 or into Whirlwind here to try to deal 30? I think the 7 is more reasonable, to be quite honest. Yeah, okay. Get the Joker that time. He did successfully bait the Joker the first time, a couple of times actually. Draw into another queen, so that's pretty good. Last time I played the queen, he immediately played queen of his own. So the temptation is just to dodge into a normal throw, get some value out of that way. I don't know if I really like the normal throw here. He has not really shown that he respects. Okay, yeah. All right, so we throw into the queen, which, you know, has been his kind of follow-up, standard follow-up to that set, or to that setup. So that's actually okay for us. You know, we only pay 13 hit points for the attempt there. We do have Joker as backup, so throw into Jack is pretty good. Like it's okay to take the risk there. So luckily that all paid off quite nicely. Try to hit another queen here. And we get hit by another queen. So that's unfortunate. That's 3 queens in the discard. We're going to have a really hard time threatening that move. So again, our throws, all of our plays just became way, way more defensive. We don't have any way to really power up for anything at this point. We can go into dragon form here and try to get some queens back. We can also just go for raw king throw here. It's not an unreasonable play given that we have Joker as backup. And again, the temptation on our side, he should be thinking, this Midori wants to block. Like that is the thought that he should absolutely be having, and that's what we're going to try to play around. So I think I would rather have thrown the king here. Yeah. Instead, we get tossed. I do have to put a Joker out here. We could potentially take a lot of damage off of this throw. Yeah, no follow-up. Very good patience on Migo Hunter's part here. Dragon forming on knockdown seems very weak. I really only have Wake Up Jack to protect myself. And that would be, so Jack into 6-7 would be 22, puts him at 14. Not quite lethal. Trying to hedge around a cross-up attempt here, or just another throw. Instead, we get dodged. So this is another opportunity for us to play a Joker. Or we could bluff here and try to Joker a bigger combo, but I'm worried about like quad ace. Okay. So not the worst. We do get some nice resources back from that. He's definitely playing like we do not have any more dragon attacks, which which is not unreasonable. It could be a bait for us to play Dragon Jacks, though. Yeah, so he immediately responds to our power-up with his own power-up. His is the superior speed. Could go into dragon form, potentially get some blocks off. Get that additional ace that we need to kill off a dodge. Yeah, it might have been, yeah, I think it might have been smarter just to power up the 7s and risk it all on a big Final Dragon Buster or dodge into Final Dragon Buster play. Instead, we get lit up with the ace. And we have no more jokers, so this is going to be lethal. There it is, triple, oh no, sorry. Leaves us a 1 hit point, but again, if he has a single queen or a single ace, yeah, there we go. That's the checkmate. So we need to exactly draw the last queen. I mean, we might as well power up the 7s. Doesn't really matter either way. Believe he has a single 10 in hand, so dodge is not safe. I can't block either. Yeah, and ace does the chip. So nicely done on his part. Gets the checkmate. Gets himself on the board. We've got to think to ourselves who we're going to play against Jaina in this format. So this is 19XX, so I do not have Trock, I do not have De Grey, I do not have Geiger, and I do not have Zane to play. None of those I really particularly want to play against Jaina anyway. So typically I have played Onimaru. Onimaru seems a fairly reasonable character to pick against Jaina. That's basically the only character that I have real anti-Jaina experience with. I don't love the Onimaru versus Jaina matchup, and that's because her dodges are actually very, very good. If she ever gets some successful hand building off and doesn't, kill herself by playing into dodges and stuff like that, her throws deal a tremendous amount of damage. She can dodge into a fair amount of damage off of just having 2 aces in hand. So dodge into 18 is quite good. And if you have a life lead against Onimaru, it is very, very difficult for him to come back. Dodge just becomes so incredibly safe as an option just because he has such a limited ability with the way that his throws work to really punish that. And if he does go for dodges, or if you do go for dodges and counter pokes a lot, you can just punish those throws with much bigger payoff than he does. So you can very, very quickly close games out that way. So not really feeling Onimaru against Migo Hunter here. So we're going to go with a different option, I believe. So I'll just wait for Migo to come back and we'll skip ahead to that. Okay, he's back. We're still in the think tank. Yes, considering Lum. So Lum has a lot of the same kind of issue that Onimaru does, but what Lum has is a really brutal endgame against Jaina. His 7 abilities make her ace-based gameplay very difficult to commit to and maintain. And he's got a lot of sources, like his 7s and his 10s are a phenomenal source of really good out of combat damage. So his aces are quite good speed as well and deal a tremendous amount of damage as well. So they contest single ace from Jaina. They can pump for 45, which is more than half of her hit points. That is all very good stuff. And then the dodges are very good as well. So, and they are unjokerable. So the real hit point total that Jaina has in this matchup is quite a bit lower than in other matchups. Her ceiling is even lower than usual, because the jokers just do much less for her than they would in other matchups. Queens and jacks in neutral from Lum actually make it very difficult for her to approach. So we're going to try to play as slowly as he will let us. Just occasionally throwing a jack out there, blocking as much as possible. Trying to avoid as many neutral queens from him as we can, as those do control the neutral. But his don't come back, and our stuff does. So we can go 3, 4, 5 for some pretty good damage here, get another ace in hand. So our hand isn't massive at this point. And we do lose the jack, but we pick up another one, so that's fine. And we do get that third ace. So again, 57 hit points already. If we get one more ace, that would leave Migo Hunter at 12. Which is pretty nice. Don't have any good blocks now. I don't want to be spending or risking the 10 as a block. So my best play is either just naked, like Yomi level 0. I just got an ace, so I'm going to play an ace. Or just jack again. Again, I just lost one. It's not going to go into much damage. But again, protects me. It's reasonably safe in neutral. Pretty unexpected option, given that I just lost the jack and I went fairly low hand. Okay, we get dodged instead. Not really worried about this though. Dodge into slow jack is fine. It's 8 damage for 2 cards. Okay, there we go. We've got another block. Still got a fairly healthy life lead. We've pushed him to play defensive potentially. He started mixing in dodges in neutral when he doesn't have tremendous amounts of cards in hand. Okay, there we go. And just like that, we're playing the winning game. We've made him doubt his ability to control the neutral with our jacks. And we made him scared to throw because, again, if we're controlling the neutral with their jacks and queens, then his throws are not going to be effective. He's got to start mixing in dodges and blocks if he can block a queen. Go for a throw here just to make him think that we'll get aggressive. Potentially counter throw something. Nope, walk into it too. Just going to go ahead and bluff this, hope that he holds back. The reason I don't want to spend the joker there is he might not have a hand that actually does anything with that combo. He might just be poking to get some value, to get some additional cards. And he's going to get 2 aces off of this, and that's what I actually want to joker. I want to joker the 2 ace follow-up. Okay, so the level 0 play is, oh, you have aces, therefore, and you know I have a dodge. Well, dodges beat aces, so I'm going to play the ace dodge here. Other option is to again throw with a 6. Does not give me tremendous value if I succeed with it. But it does deal a little bit of damage. Okay, there we go. Poked out a throw. We can combo into a 6 for 10 damage. Or we can just let it slide. It's fine too. Okay, we get rid of another 6. We'll take the jack back. And we've got our threat. Hey, I'm just going to keep playing this jack. And if you try to contest it with a with an ace there, buddy, it's a potential that I just dodge with the single ace that you know that I have. So don't yet have the 4th ace. Once I do have the 4th ace, dodge into 4 aces is pretty good. Especially if he plays something between now and then and buys it back. Okay, there we go. Spending some dodges, implying that he does not have a queen. He does not have anything he really wants to contest, that he wants to play neutral footsies with. I'm hoping for a counter throw or a dodge here from Migo. And we get the dodge. We could toss a 2 on there. Okay, yeah, toss a 9, I suppose. Seems fine. Puts him at 38. We have 33 damage off of the aces. Not quite enough to kill. Can single ace and then power up into 4 2s into shenanigans. But instead, I think I played a dodge side. Yeah, okay, get dodged. He throws me for 9, which is not ideal. I think bluff is probably the best play here. Bluff or nothing. Yeah, he's probably going to cash out the aces. Yes. So big damage there. 35 or 30 off a throw is pretty nasty. Our lead is looking less appetizing by the second. Well, yeah, it's entirely disappeared, I should actually say. Okay. We get him with the dodge. We do pay 4 health for it, but that's fine. We're going to average about 12 damage here. Potentially much more. 15's pretty good. Puts him at 23. Good position to be in. If he buys back the queen, he is at great risk of dying to Great Pandemonium. I just want to deal 10 more damage. And then I can potentially set up a blackjack checkmate with poker flourish. Catch another queen. Feeling pretty good about this so far. And again, the reason I'm dodging with such abandon right now is I do have the Joker as backup, so even if he has another hidden 2 aces, I have ways to deal with that. There we go. 14 takes him down to 9. Now we just want to set up that that blackjack checkmate. So I think I could actually set it up on that turn. Now I'm pretty sure that I could have powered up for the 2 aces in the discard. Power both of those up for the last ace in the deck. Yeah, so I could have had the lethal on the last turn. Basically guaranteed. Okay, get dodged here. I am going to joker this. No, okay. No, that's right. He doesn't have, there's no way to lethal from that position. Yeah, doesn't matter which one you grab. Just for the love of God, grab it before time runs out. Okay, again, mistakes here. Definite mistakes. No reason to be playing like this. Yeah, this definitely gives an opportunity for him to win. Luckily, we get the counter throw for lethal here. Okay, respect the joker and now set up. Yeah, okay, so now we've got the guarantee. There we go. We don't even need to do any poker flirt or need to do any blackjacking. We just get the full house for 7 damage and close things out. Okay, so that was a little bit a little bit more tense than it absolutely needed to be. I think it was still guaranteed checkmate to play it out that way, but again, we had the lethal a turn or two earlier. Didn't need to take any of those potential risks there. Okay, and there we go. We've got the ace match. He's got to decide how he wants to deal with Lum. He's going to stick with Jaina. No, switches to Manelker. Okay, the game here is don't get hit by Deathstrike Dragon. That's the key to the matchup. Don't lose 55 hit points in a single turn. Blocking is a little bit risky here because I could see first turn 7 being actually effective. Yeah, so he's going to hit me with the 2 instead. So I just want to protect the ace until I have a pair, because if I don't, potentially very bad things happen. Right now, potentially very bad things are happening. I very much expect 3 aces to go up into his hand. Yeah, there we go. The 3 amigos. Got to worry about that 4th ace already being in there. Question is, do you just raw Deathstrike Dragon from this position, or do you dodge into it? I think you dodge into it. It's actually the higher likelihood play. Because, hey, I might just have the Joker. Okay, instead we're going to get hit with the Black Queen. Going to put us a little bit lower on hand size. Double pump to bring us to 54. He has 3 aces and 2 mystery cards. So now I take the risk. Like if he dodges, if he has a dodge and he plays it, I think that's the smart move. But if he doesn't have a dodge, maybe he just hasn't drawn one yet. then we yeah, exactly. We thank our lucky stars. We come out of things ahead. We manage to duff into a straight. Hashtag calculated. Hashtag knower. Hashtag all the answers. I don't want to be rolling the dice. I don't want to potentially flip a joker. Flipping an 8 and getting knocked down is not really doing me any good. I want to actually get cards. I could really use some more blocks, for instance. Oh, he hits us with the 7. Cracks our bones. Probably going to take an ace. Yeah. I think taking a 10 might be an okay option as well, but taking the ace is definitely the smarter play overall. Okay, well, he knows we don't have a jack, so very tempting to play the jack here. Other option is just to block with the 2. We do have a king to play around an odd cross-up. So he's not really incentivized to go for a cross-up attempt there, but he may go for something daring, just on the assumption that we're going to want to play relatively safe. And we'll go ahead and keep our jack. So he knows we don't have any throws. So level 0 is just a block until you get a hand. So I'm going to try to make that as slow as possible by blocking as well. Yeah. It's going to turtle up for a little while. Okay, Jack, King, King is tempting and nice. The 18 damage, potential to get it all back. But again, I don't think it's been long enough for him to really expect that we're going to throw him. And if he thinks we're going to throw him, then he's going to attack or potentially counter throw. I don't really care about counter throw unless it's a 7. And if he attacks, then he's just attacking into our blocks. So that's fine too. I don't really need to win against his attacks with my jack. I've already diffused the threat of quad ace. That is a ton of damage that he can no longer do that is in his discard. So we can afford to slow roll here. Health totals are very similar. No idea why I would ever play the 5 attack in neutral. Yeah. Just want to slow his ability to get any, pairs or triples to be able to power up with as much as possible. Take that ace out of the discard before he gets a 10 so that he doesn't remove our ability to get those. We have 2 kings that we can power up to get the 4th ace, or to potentially bring the ace back if he 7s us. Okay. I blink first, try to get a throw there with the jack. But keep the jack. So we still got our good neutral tool. We've got 10s, so we can start setting up for our late game checkmate. Again, health totals still very healthy for both of us. His hand size is starting to get up there. Eventually he's going to draw into a queen, but not yet. So we get to cash in some damage first. Okay, putting him at 32 is quite nice. Again, we're starting to close the noose. We maintain the jacks and the kings. We get a joker. So really only queens from Manelker are going to contest our jack until he powers up for aces. And if he's powering up for anything here, he's probably going to be powering up for queens. Duff another 2. That's going to be another 18 damage unless he face downs. Yeah, he's caught me with that bluff into Joker thing a lot. Yeah, no reason to gain health. 48 is plenty. With those aces in the discard. Yeah, okay, yeah. Have to have one in the discard at least so that we can do Poker Flourish. Try to close this game out. $15 damage. Not bad. Just need 13 more. Definitely doable. We have dodge into 13 off of extra juice. We have Great Pandemonium. We have potential blackjack dodge. So definitely sitting in a pretty good position here. Yeah, dodge, dodge. Wondering, I guess I could have, yeah, okay, yeah. So that's another error on my part. The ace was on the top. The last blackjack ace was on the top, so I could have powered up 2 aces. No, that wouldn't have worked. Never mind. I was going to say powered up 2 aces, but then I would only get 1 ace back. I'd have 3 aces on top of the deck, and it only works with the top 2 cards of your discard. So that wouldn't have worked. So I need to find a way to get 2 power-ups off. Or we can just 10 throw them. That works too. There we go. Close things out with a 10 throw. Sometimes, some crimes. Nicely done. I was really nervous about playing Migo Hunter. He doesn't play as often as he used to, but the dude is no joke. Those very, very, very tough games. Even though I basically kind of stole the first 2 off of some weird dragon hands and shenanigans, and luckily poked out a what could have been an absolute blowout in game number 5. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed the 19XX format action. Hope you enjoyed my day 3 Lum. Might see him some more in future events. He's been doing pretty good for me. Yeah, until next time, enjoy yourselves some Yomi. And sometimes don't go for the turn 3 kill. Sometimes you got to play the whole game. All right. Cheers.